read an article a few years ago, and it talked about Native Americans during the Civil War, I believe. Native Americans were discovered to have unique abilities to detect enemies, sort of predict weather, and they had amazing tracking skills. They almost had like a sixth sense. So the U.S. Army recruited a lot of these young Native Americans, Indians, whatever you want to call them, and they put them into the army. But once they finished their basic training, they didn't have these abilities anymore. They couldn't understand why. The reason being, they were cutting their hairs off. So when they spoke to the elders of the village, they told the generals and the corporals the reason these soldiers, newly acquired soldiers, didn't have the ability to connect with nature and to use their sixth sense is because their hair had been cut off. Now, I read this article years ago online, and I read another article similar to it. But the hair is an extension of your nervous system. There are times during the day where my hair actually vibrates. It sort of moves on its own, and I'll get that on tape at some point. But don't cut your hair. Your hair, it's a part of you. I noticed small children, when you cut their hair, small children, when they get their hair cut, they're not as they become kind of sad, kind of depressed. I remember my son, his mom cut all his hair off when he was about a year or two, and he stopped talking, and nobody thought it was a big deal. This kid was talking, being really outgoing. They cut his hair off for a whole month. He didn't speak, and that freaked me out. But the people around me, his family, they didn't think anything of it. But I noticed that, and that the hair has interesting abilities. It makes you human. It makes you more sensitive to your environment. It makes you more sensitive to other people and to their emotions, which is probably why they still shave soldiers' heads off, so that they're not as sensitive to their environment or to their fellow man, and they can do the atrocities that they're forced to do. So all in all, don't cut your hair. Embrace it. Let it grow, and maximize your human potential. Subscribe.